Hello, my name is Kendra Nichols.
And I'm Callum Smith. Welcome to Cutting Edge, made for Sheffield Live by students of Sheffield Hallam University. Coming up on today's show.
Sheffield Castle is set to become a central feature in the city once again, for the first time since the Saxon period.
A sensory garden for children with special needs has just opened up in Sheffield.
Castlegate and the surrounding areas are facing major redevelopment and a plan to renovate the remains of Sheffield Castle into the city's biggest tourist attraction.
Here is reporter George Wood with more.
The area of Castlegate is set for a huge boost in the near future, as Sheffield Council are planning to create a link to the city centre featuring the remains of the old castle. Plans have been revealed to build a walkway above the castle's ruins, allowing people to peer down onto the remains as they walk from Fitzallen Square down through the castle's old drawbridge onto the Victoria Quays.
Sheffield City Council and the Friends of Sheffield Castle organisation are hoping that the walkway above the excavation of the castle would link up nicely to the city centre and provide more footfall into the area down here at Victoria Quays.
The majority of people in Sheffield seem to have forgotten about the castle since the demolition of it under Oliver Cromwell's Parliament. However, a series of archaeological digs have revitalised the interest in it.
They plan to turn the area around Castlegate into a green space within the city, pedestrianising the majority of Fitzallen Square and reinvigorating the route down to where the castle once stood.
Castlegate has been seen as a pivotal yet run-down part of the city, ever since the castle market started to see a decline in its customers. The Castlegate Kickstart Fund of £800,000 aims to change this though, with the introduction of a hotel, bars and shops almost right where the old drawbridge stood.
They would actually like to properly excavate the part of the castle which has got the best ruins. And if you see the 3D recreation they've done of it, there's a huge sort of castle gateway with a drawbridge, and that is still in existence under the ground. When they've actually taken the rubble away, there's part of it that's still there. So what they'd like to do is actually build that up so that there's something that people can visit.
The castle is going to play a crucial part in the regeneration as the group Friends of Sheffield Castle aim to capture the history of the area whilst maintaining the new economy of modern creative and technical industries on display at the nearby Exchange Works.
It could transform Sheffield into a really modern, vibrant city, but the fact that they're doing that based upon the really ancient centre of Sheffield that's never really been developed properly is something that could put us on par with places like Manchester, because you go to Manchester now and you've got all those fantastic sort of developments around the canal, around the old Roman fort in Manchester.
Experts say the revamp of the area could still take another couple of years, but one thing's for sure, keep an eye on Sheffield in the near future.
A Sheffield primary school has recently opened a sensory garden to help support children with special needs.
I went down to find out more. Ecclesfield Primary School in Sheffield has recently opened a sensory garden to help support children with special needs such as autism and ADHD. For these children, school can be extra stressful and overstimulating. The sensory garden allows children to use all of their senses without overstimulating them. It also gives these children a tranquil place to calm down whenever they feel overwhelmed in the classroom or during transitional periods between classes. Students are able to use their hands, get dirty, and learn in an interactive way.
Yeah, the children have really loved it. They love coming out here, but also the parents have said how much it's benefited their children as well, and the feedback that we've had online has been really positive.
The children are very proud of their garden. They were given a lot of creative freedom to help design and build the sensory garden. They researched other sensory gardens and decided what they would like in their own. There are flowers that smell nice, a water feature you can listen to, and a mud kitchen to keep their hands busy. The children even planted flowers of their own.
I think it's quite good and interesting.
What is your favorite part of the sensory garden?
When we get to come out and play and calm down if we're stressed.
The sensory garden was partially funded through Santander Discovery Days. The banking group donated £250 to the school and also sent some volunteers to help build the garden once it had been designed. Another £500 was used from the school's own funding. Since the opening of the sensory garden, several other schools have been in contact with Ecclesfield Primary to talk about opening sensory gardens of their own. Now let's have a look at some of the other recent news stories from around Sheffield.
Sheffield City Council are considering turning the Old Town Hall into a 12-apartment hotel featuring an 11-stall open-air market. The building has been an eyesore since 1996 when it first went out of use. Councillors want to save the building before some of the classic features are lost to time and rot. There have now been 3 consultations with a decision set to be made in the coming months.
Sheffield is the second biggest spender on takeaways in the UK, following London, with an average person in the city spending £548 a year. The introduction of apps such as Just Eat and Deliveroo have led to a spike in the orders. However, surprisingly, the most common way to order is still via the phone. KPMG report that there is largely due to a lifestyle change in that food ordered and generates more excitement, perhaps, than cooking does.
A crowd-funded film is in production on the streets of Sheffield. The movie, Two Gun Saint, is gathering its funds through the site Indiegogo and is set to star Jason Berry and Mika Hockman in the leading roles. The movie is set to be released later this year.
Sheffield City Centre is under construction to build a new dynamic district heart of the city too.
It will house new businesses, making the city an even more interesting and exciting place to work and live.
In the heart of Sheffield City Centre, a new dynamic, mixed-use, vibrant district is being constructed. The heart of the city too is one of the key economic projects by the Sheffield Council along with their partner Queensberry to encourage new businesses into the city. Already the project has encouraged businesses such as H&M to open a new store on the mall along with H&M group brands Monkey and Weekday in one of the new buildings, Grosvenor House. The Weekday store will be the first store outside of London. Grosvenor House is one of the new buildings which is being occupied by the bank HSBC, who signed a 15-year lease as the anchor tenant. It has 8 retail units with 2 already occupied. This scheme is set to bring together the old and the new, maintaining existing streets and heritage buildings in the city, whilst bringing new unique architect and spaces. The heart of the city is set out as a phase-by-phase plan, providing flexibility to change layouts and design. The new buildings will be home to new bars, cafes and restaurants, along with entertainment and hotels. Sheffield is a regional capital at the centre of an ambitious northern economy, home to over 600,000 people, with the consumer growth expected to be at 2 million by 2020, which is why the heart of the city too is an important scheme to Sheffield. This scheme is important to the city. Not only will it bring new business investment, but also provide jobs and boost the Sheffield economy. Set in the city's unique character, it will help bring together the Moor, Devonshire Quarter and Fargate, providing a new home to Sheffield's cultural and creative trailblazers. This is Nomvia reporting for Cutting Edge.
Tourist attraction.
Here is reporter George Wood with more.
But then I'd be introducing myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A Sheffield primary school has recently opened a sensory garden to help support children with special needs.
I went down to find out more. So should we split after Heart of the City 2, and then he can say that will...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheffield City Centre is under construction to build a new dynamic district, Heart of the City 2, that will house new businesses.
Nope.
Wait, then weren't you doing it?
Yeah, you read my part.
The Sheffield Blitz Trail has now launched with the installation of a new app.
Anyone can see the areas most affected during this period. I went across the trail to find out more details. The 12th of December 1940, a dark period for Sheffield. A major supplier of the British arms industry is considered a target by the Germans. Air raid sirens sounded as over 330 Luftwaffe bombers flew over the city. Overnight, around 350 tons of explosives, along with 16,000 incendiary canisters, were dropped on the city. The Blitz, without a doubt, is a huge marker in history for Sheffield. The Sheffield Blitz Trail app is downloadable by anyone on iOS and Android, making it much more easier for people to go along the historic trail. Once the user has downloaded the app, they'll find a brief description of what happened in Sheffield on that day, along with a map showing the most prevalent places that were hit during the Blitz, along with a general bomb counter showing everywhere that was hit by a bomb. The trail will take you down to Bramall Lane, where the Luftwaffe destroyed the Sheffield United home ground, to Devonshire Green, a highly packed Terrace House neighbourhood before the Blitz, all the way to Weston Park Museum, where in anticipation of the Blitz, many of the artefacts held there had already been put safely underground. For the display cases upstairs in the museum, however, they didn't share a similar fate. Display cases on top of the museum were shattered when the bombs hit. And it's here at Weston Park Museum that we get the best reminder of the price that was paid for the protection of our country. The monument stands to remind us of everyone that was lost during the fight. It reminds us of the brave men and women that fought to protect our country, to the everlasting honour and glory of the 8,814 officers, non-commissioned officers, and men of the York and Lancaster Regiment who fell in the Great War. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, Kendra.
Honestly, I thought it was really interesting. I had no idea that Sheffield had been so hit during the Blitz and that so many places had been basically obliterated.
Yeah, Bramall Lane was probably the worst that was hit, that, from what I've read through, obviously, when doing research for the package.
Mm-hmm. I saw that also that Dev Green had gotten hit pretty hard, and I would have had no idea, seeing as I go there during the spring just to sit with my friends all the time.
The Dev Green was completely changed due to the Blitz.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's all we've got time for, unfortunately. I've been Callum Smith.
And I've been Kendra Nichols. Thank you for watching Cutting Edge.